Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, that was absolutely an extraordinary day. Let me see some 4 or 5s. Let me get some hearts in the chat for the very first Mogul Weekend experience. All right. And again, you have the opportunity to join us at the very next one, which is going to be in about 1 month from today. Okay. July 29th in Cancun, Mexico. Right. But now it's time for me to step out of the way of greatness. The gentleman I have the honor and privilege of introducing to you tonight, he has created millions of dollars investing. But more importantly, he has created the business model that is filled with opportunities that have made millions of dollars for others. Everything from shorts to long-term investments, commodities, and master classes for wealth creation. One of the most current investments that he introduced to his investment club of over 3,000 investors produced $23 million in revenue in just 12 months. He himself turned a $10,000 investment into over $344,000 in that same 12-month span, okay? He has a goal to help 10,000 families generate $5,000 per month in residual recurring income. And what I love most about this gentleman is he's the definition of integrity and character. And he's one of the only people that's ever been and done every single thing he ever committed to me that he would be or do. So please give me some 4 5s, give me some hearts, give me some love in the chat for the greatest of all time, the GOAT, the people's champ, Mr. Samuel Bean.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing?
Amazing, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. You were talking like Aaron Rodgers was about to do this presentation or something.
Better than Aaron Rodgers.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, hey, guys, I really appreciate you guys. Give Carly some 4 5s. You know, let her know, hey, you really appreciate her standing in the gap as she always does. And again, give her some love, some hearts, what have you, because she's always and forever here to serve you guys. And I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about today. But before I jump into that, I want to make sure that I want to make sure I got. Okay, there we go. I think that's better. Yeah, I want to make sure we do a little housekeeping, kind of give you guys some of the updates on some of the things that we're doing right now. And again, it's just you don't know where to start. But one thing I will do is I will start by letting you guys know that we are the ForeSight family. This is a place where we know that you're rich before you do. It's all about vision. It's all about seeing into the future. And again, teaching people how to be ready for it. Okay. Again, we have a goal. I would say over the next 3 to 5 years, what we call Project 10,000 is helping 10,000 families get to $5,000 a month of residual recurring income. And we're going to use that business model. We're going to use the investment club to do that. Okay. And when you look at, our short-term goal right now, we have a 12 to 24 month goal right now to create 25 to 50 millionaires. And again, using the platforms that we invest in and the ones that we share with a lot of our friends, families, and colleagues around the world. So again, that's a little bit about us. Also, I know Carly showed you the video, and I'll start with the video of Cancun. We're a month away. Okay, July 28th is the big leadership shebang. The Mogul Mansion will be rocking out. We will have, again, the catered event. It'll be there with all of the people who are contributors on all the platforms and leaders on all the platforms and high-end investors on all the platforms that we have participated in. And I gave you guys a criteria for that last week on the last Millionaire Mindset call, so I won't go into that. Get with your leaders if you want to know how to qualify for that. But that's going to be huge. And then the day after that, we, again, are going to be launching that 110-foot yacht that you just saw on that video. We will be launching that yet again. And again, we will be taking some of our finest out there on the sea, jet skiing and doing all the things that we love to do, letting our hair down, working on our tan, and just making it happen. So Cancun is going to be an amazing event. Again, so if you don't have your tickets, you haven't got your position, go ahead and do that right away while there's still availability. Okay, Miami. I told you guys I was going to Miami this week. I will be leaving Wednesday morning. I will be meeting with the owner and the brokers of our next venture, our next investment platform. And the thing I like about this situation is that I actually know, the people who are who are surrounding, that is built around this investment here. The owner of this actual company is somebody who's been in the arena of network marketing for years as an owner. He still has a company that's been around for 15 plus years, doing big things internationally, and he has a name to protect. And again, he's been in several different investment platforms and opportunities with me as well. And again, we get a chance to fly in and take a tour of the office, get a chance to meet the brokers in a situation that's been live and going for 4 years as far as the brokerage is concerned and trading results are concerned. So I'm excited about bringing you guys back that opportunity and launching that with you guys. As a matter of fact, on either Wednesday or Thursday night, I will be getting with your leaders, your key people, and helping them get themselves positioned so we can go out here and make some waves, go out here and do some damage. Okay? And so I'm excited. I won't go into it. I'll say that for another time. But I had a couple of our key people. I would say about 8 to 10 people on a live feed with Jeremy Reynolds from Lance Green. And guys, we're about to go out here and do some big things. That big. How many of you guys are ready to go to Brazil in September? Okay? And so again, work hard, play hard, guys. Get in here and make this thing happen. 80,000 in volume, in your lesser leg and Lance Green, that gets you. Yeah, Dr. April, I know you were on that call. I know you're ready to go too, because you travel everywhere. Everywhere we go, you go. You like Visa. You everywhere we're going to be. But yeah, Brazil is going to be hot. And again, they actually had a way for some of the key people to lock in their spot right away before they even qualify for it. And so this is why you got to be a part of the leadership team. This is why you got to, again, put yourself in a position where you're connected with the right people and people who are plugged in. Keep in mind that, guys, anytime you are a part of something but you're unplugged, there's no energy there, there's no electricity there, there's no excitement there. Again, there's nothing happening at all, and you're losing at that point in time. Okay, so again, make sure you're either connected or make sure you're connected to somebody who is, so you don't miss out on moments like this. But I can just say, Brazil, it'll be the first time that my wife and I will get a chance to go to Brazil, and we'll go together. And I'm excited about going with you guys. So Brazil is real. And so is Lance Green. And we're in pre-launch, guys. Again, this is just going to be one of the huge pre-launch events for Lance Green, where they're going to get us out there. We'll be with Anderson Salgado and his crew for 4 days at the all-inclusive resort. And they're going to teach us everything we need to know so we can explode all of our volume, our team, our growth, and everything by at least 10 to 15% before we actually launch the company. So that's going to be huge. And then last but not least, before I get into the reasons why, people are out there failing, losing, sabotaging, and missing their calling, Dr. Marika Gardner at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing a training on Zoom, and it'll be about FinTop, liquidity, funding, and just a lot of those good things. And I'm just tell you guys, if you have your FTC, if you have anything that has anything to do with FinTop when it comes to liquidity and things like that, want to make sure that you are there. And if you can't answer your people's questions, you need to make sure that they are there. All right. So the Zoom information for that will be in the Telegram group, and it'll also be in some of the Facebook groups. And I know a lot of the leaders already have the banner that we put into the groups already. So with that being said, all the housekeeping is done. Like I said, my name is Samuel Bean, and this is the ForeSight Business Academy, again, where we know that you're rich before you do. And tonight's Millionaire Mindset topic is the 12 signs that you are addicted to not succeeding, right? You are addicted to failing. You are addicted to losing, right? And that's very, very important. And so it's a lot of people, they give you 12 ways to go and succeed, 12 ways to go and win, 12 ways to go out there, but that doesn't work, when you state the obvious. And when you go out here and you tell people, why they're failing, and you're giving them the reasons of why they're failing, and it's right there where they can create this checklist, and they can look at their daily schedules, daily habits, daily associations, and everything else. It hits them different. Okay. It really does hit them different. And it right there, square in the middle of the eyes. And it has the ability to help people change. Okay. And so when you look at people who I would say are the best at it, you got to understand that you have to be very, very good. You have to be an expert, got to be on purpose, but you got to be great at failing or losing, right? In order for you to do it on a high level. And I'm gonna share with you guys, this is why a lot of people are losing, but I am going to share the symptoms, if you will, on why you may not be achieving your goals, your dreams, and walking into your greatness. So number one, and again, I just numbered them, but they have no specific order of importance. No, they're all important, and whether one hits you or all of them hit you, as a leader, you can either see this in yourself or you can see these things in your team. Either way, I want to make sure that they are visible for you. You're conscious of them. So number one, you are addicted to the approval of other people. Okay, and this is something, guys, that when you think about it, you always want people to think the best of you, highly of you, great about you, right? And this starts as a kid. You always do everything that you can for attention, as a child, right? But I'm just telling you, you unconsciously feel from the back, thinking that you're leading from the front, like you go about it the wrong way. Okay? And leaders don't really care about what other people think. We have a low need of acceptance and a high need for respect. And that's something that you should write down. That's something that you should journal, because that can really be a pivot point for you that can change everything. Because, a lot of you are perceived as soft, needy, weak, when it comes to people who are actual business people, people who are accomplished entrepreneurs. Okay. When you look at the addiction to approval, guys, you think about this for a second. You act out of character all the time. Okay. And so you're never, ever yourself. People don't know who they're doing business with. People don't know who they're evaluating. And some people, quite frankly, can see through it. But you want to speak like in this industry, like when I say this industry, the industry of network marketing and sales and, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people will go out there and they'll learn a lot of phrases. They'll learn a lot of profound statements, and you want to speak like a leader, but you just don't want to do what leaders do, right? And then there's a self-esteem thing, right? When you look at, we talk about others' approvals, you go out there, you do everything that you can to get people to approve of you, to like you, to invite you to stuff, to accept you and things. It's just you put yourself in a bad position, right? And so that's just something that you don't want to do. You just really want to stop and reflect. So, you know what? Whose approval do I really need? Okay. And if it's your spouse, that's fine. But for me, the only approval that I need is the approval of myself. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I'm the only person it really matters to, because if I don't approve of myself, if I am not trying to impress myself, if I'm not trying to go out here and get better for myself, guys, everybody else loses. Everybody else loses. But that self-esteem thing is crazy. And most people have the definition of self-esteem backwards. And, people think that self-esteem is what people think about you. That you think that that's what impacts you. What impacts you really is not what people think about you, is what you think people think about you. That's a really big difference, because a lot of you really don't know and you just assume, right? And that's what triggers low self-esteem, and that's what buries you. Okay, and so you don't want to be a victim of that, right? But in these type of industries and platforms, you desire the approval of your cross line, people who are not in a position to help you or benefit from you. You want to you want to impress the people who are not your senior partners, that really have been investing time, energy, effort, and resources into you. You want to impress the people and approve the people who are cross-line from you. Okay. It's like if you have a job in corporate America, you don't want to impress the person who's your manager, supervisor, whatever. You want to impress, somebody that's in a whole entirely different division. Okay. Which then that doesn't help you at all. Doesn't help the cause at all. Okay. And so you're worried about the wrong thing, and you're worried about impressing the wrong people. Okay. but none of that gets you closer to your goal. Okay, so and the last thing about this is this, when you look at the addiction and approval to others, you really never get a chance to, go out here and do real big things because you stay smaller than your audience, right? Again, you always take the back seat. You're always wanting to not be heard or not being seen when it comes to you going out there now, get ready to do something really, really big that can get you the approval that you desire. And so again, it's just one of those internal things. Number two, you will pay more money to entertain yourself than you will to educate yourself. Okay. You will pay more money to entertain yourself than you will to educate yourself. Okay. So when you look at the most important and the biggest investment that you can make, it's in yourself, right? The second biggest investment you can make is in your team or employees in your company, right? And when I look at people of today, again, there's a reason why only 3% of the people control 97% of the wealth around the world. The 3%ers invest in themselves wholeheartedly. They're committed to investing everything that they have in themselves, so they can go out here and increase their their economic and financial thermostats, as well as their personal development thermostats. So when they do that, they get the return that they desire. But then you have the 97%ers, right, that work for the 3%ers, that they invest more on the outside of their head than they do on the inside. Like the six senses here, from here to here, you spend more on your haircuts and your hairdos than you do inside your brain. Like no seminars, no books on tapes, no mentorship courses, classes, no master classes. Guys, I can just tell you, during COVID, I've never spent so many $19.99s and $29.99s and $9.99s in my life. I bought a lot of different courses, knowing that they were going to try to upsell me, but I knew for $9.99 or $19.99 or $29.99 that, I was going to get something that I can take back and utilize, to help further my cause and get me closer to my goals, but also something that I can go and take and teach my team. Okay. That's huge, guys. Again, just investing in yourself. Okay. Investing in yourself. So you want to make sure that you take accountability. If you really don't, if you want to know for sure what the disparity is, go back and look over, let's say over the last 2-3 years, and take inventory on how much money you spend on vacations, movies, plays, concerts, clothes, jewelry, automobiles. It's all entertainment. It's all for you. It's all to make you happy, right? And then go back and look at how much money you spend on educating yourself in the field of your endeavor. And you'll see again that there's some things that should worry you in that situation. 97% of people spent little to no money, right? Little to no money on all those things. So you want to make sure you put yourself in a totally different box. Number 3, you blame others for 100% of your failures. You blame others. You blame everybody else for 100% of your failures, right? It's never your fault. It's always somebody else's fault. When I fail, it's everybody else's fault. When you succeed, you don't give the people credit who actually deserve it. You take it, right? But I just tell you, that's one of the reasons why I say don't say I changed your life. That's another thing. When you look at, I have people say, hey, look, you changed my life. Man, those trainings over the years, those counseling sessions over the years, or whatever it was, you changed my life. And I don't want that type of pressure. Okay? And the thing about it, if I changed your life, that means that you can't go and change it again. You have to wait for me to change it for you again, if it's ever going to change, right? And then if something happens again to you in a situation where it's not a really good deal and you're under my watch, I go from being the GOAT, like Carly says, the greatest of all time, to actually being the GOAT, the reason for your failure. You're going to find a way to blame somebody else for, again, your shortcomings. So the first thing, the leadership guys and people who succeed, they take 100% responsibility, even when it's not their fault. If it happened on their watch, it's your fault. It's their fault. Okay. Take the responsibility and just go ahead and move on with it. Figure out what the challenge is, figure out a solution for it, and just go ahead and move on with it. Okay. But you even refuse to reflect, and this is in private. A lot of people, you'll notice that when something goes wrong, they not only blame somebody else for what went wrong, but you'll see it go wrong again because they didn't learn from it. They didn't reflect on it and say, man, even though I didn't take responsibility for it, what did I do wrong? What could I have done different? And also, when you actually blame everybody else, now you can't go ask anybody else again for advice. Hey, I know he messed up, but what did he do wrong? That I can make sure it doesn't happen again. Yeah. And so that's what people do. You don't even do that. You don't go that far because you feel like you're gonna get exposed. Okay. So again, blaming others for your failures. Number 4, okay, you are addicted to failing, losing, right? Not succeeding because you are afraid of making mistakes. You're afraid of making mistakes, guys. It's like the thing I love about football and sports is they all have coaches. Okay. And you can tell the coaches who are going to be around for a long time, the ones who are going to be perennial winners, and you can tell the ones who are going to be perennial losers. Okay. Even coaches who have good teams are losers because this is the thing. A lot of them play not to lose. They don't play to win championships. They don't play to win. They play not to lose. They play not to be embarrassed. They play not to lose their job. They don't throw caution to the wind. They don't take risk, right? They don't make sacrifices. Okay? And they are afraid of leading, so they really follow, right? And those coaches follow the fans. They don't lead the team. It's like they're responsible for the team, but they are followers of the fans. And a lot of you guys, again, are followers of your peers. You're followers of your fans because this is what happens. You have Grant Cardone. We have our partnership with Grant Cardone, and we do our crash camps on Saturdays. And some of you won't even get on crash camp on Zoom because you're afraid that somebody's going to ask you to do something that you may actually make a mistake on, like role playing, right? You won't get on, ask questions. You won't get on. You won't invite anybody to anything. You won't because you're afraid to make mistakes. You won't go out here and do any presentations because you feel like you got to be perfect. You don't want to make any mistakes. You don't. Again, you put yourself in a position, guys, where there's no growth whatsoever. And when you don't grow personally, you don't grow economically. When you don't grow personally because you're afraid of making mistakes, this is what happens. Your value, to society, guys, it doesn't increase. Not only does it not increase, it doesn't even stay the same. It actually decreases, right? You actually remember there's no, middle ground where you just stay where you're at, guys, because remember, life is continuing to move on. It's continuing to evolve. And if you don't evolve with it, you're regressing. And if you're regressing, so are your finances, so is your economic status, so is your economic value. Okay. You have to go out there and learn some new things. You got to go out there and be willing to make mistakes so you can teach these things to your people. You got to teach them from the things that you got right, but you also got to teach them from the mistakes that you made. Trust me, my team for years, over a decade, they know a lot of my mistakes, a lot, and they've learned a lot from my mistakes. It's no different than relationships. I'm married longer than most of my friends and my peers because I watched a lot of the mistakes that they made. I mean, I did. I learned. Guys, if you don't have to make a mistake yourself and you can learn from it, learn from it. If you can watch other people make mistakes, watch other people get it right, learn from it. But don't be afraid to make the mistakes. Okay. But again, and these are just things that like don't be afraid to have new experiences. See, saving face can't be more important than saving your life. It can't be. And most of us allow it. Number 5, that you're addicted to failing, not succeeding, because you're staying in relationships that are toxic and not working. Now, I want you guys to really hone in on this one because association, see, that's the other thing about, again, network marketing and sales. A lot of you guys use, cliches that it sounds good. Everybody's saying it, but you don't actually utilize it, right? A lot of you guys say stuff like, your income is going to be the average of your five, the 5 people who you talk to the most, of your 5 best friends, or the 5 phone numbers you call the most of your phone. And when you look at those are people who, a lot of those people are not people who make more money than you. They don't have the marriage that you want. They don't have a lifestyle that you want. They don't raise their kids like you would want. But you still call those same 5 people all the time. You still hang out with those same 5 people all the time, right? You still are in those same toxic relationships with the significant others, and you won't change that relationship, just in your dating or whatever it is. You have to manage, your associations. You got to manage those associations, okay? A lot of people don't manage associations because of a fear of starting over. People don't want to start over again, okay? Especially in dating. I've been with him a year. I've been with her 2 years already. Whatever it is, I've been with her 8 years, 5 years, whatever it is. I just don't want to start over, right? Or I've been at this company 3 years, 5 years. I just don't want to start over, right? And you hang around, and when it be the companies, jobs, relationships, friendships, I have a ton of people who I love that I don't associate with. I do, because you ever heard the term, the more time I spend with you, the dumber I get, or the more I talk to you, the dumber I get, or whatever it is. And then what you find is that a lot of you guys are extremely intelligent people, that you actually dumb yourself down for some of the people you talk to, because you are fearful of hurting their actual feelings. I don't. At the end of the day, I'm not going to talk over your head, but I'm not going to dumb myself down to make you feel comfortable. I want to make you feel uncomfortable. I want to stretch you just like I was stretched. And I used to go into rooms where everybody dressed better than me. Everybody earned more than me. Everybody talked better than me. Everybody was more educated than I was. And I didn't run from the room. I ran into it and I embraced it. I let the fear motivate me to go out there and evolve. Okay. But I don't care about even if I had to build a whole new group over. I've left companies and left the whole entire group in place twice. The first time, people eventually came over to where we were because I walked away, and where we left them, again, it was, a company where it wasn't a parallel shift. We didn't go from one company on this level and to another company on this level. We went from here to here, and when they saw the trajectory, they moved over. Now, the second time, I left a whole entire company of people over there, and guess what? They're still making a lot of money. I'm still getting at least 25 grand a month from that company. I hadn't did anything in that company for 5 years. I've rebuilt, over again, because this is what I'm doing. This is what I do for a living, right? I'm not scared of starting from scratch, but a lot of you are. A lot of you are. And a lot of you are afraid to leave people who have made you no money whatsoever. As a matter of fact, a lot of you are afraid to leave people who have cost you money, right? Where does that make sense at? I don't understand that. How can you justify that? Okay. And this is the thing, and when I say, this association is very, very key here, it's not what you do, is how you do it. Okay. So don't ever, develop an arrogant attitude that you don't need your group, but don't need your group. My group doesn't run with me or don't run me. And when I'm in the same proximity as my group, I'm not with my group is with me, right? You're the leader, okay? If there's something wrong in that group, you need to get in there and fix it. You need to go in there and figure it out. But you need to go in there and take control of it by having those conversations and asking those questions, okay? But this is also why when you're building any platform, even though this is not network marketing, there are a lot of affiliate programs where it says build wide. You're going to always build wide, guys, but never build shallow, which means if it's an affiliate program, you have no choice. It's 1 or 2 levels of affiliates, but anytime you have anything that has depth, allows you to go multiple levels, go all the way down, build wide and build deep. Because what will happen is you'll find people especially down in depth, who will appreciate you for who you are. And those will be the people who will help you get rid of the toxicity. Okay. The people who are closer to you are the most toxic people in a situation, are the most damning people, are the people who you have to care because they take you for granted. These are the people who are so close to you, they're so comfortable with you, that they don't pull their weight. This is why that relationship is not working. Okay. You put them in a leadership position or you give them a leadership title, and guess what happens? They stop doing anything and everything that's required to be the leader because they already have the title. Okay. And then you'll have groups that'll hold you hostage. Like when is the thing, when you have a group or an investment leg of business or whatever it is, and they know for a fact that they are your biggest producers of revenue, income, or whatever you want to call it, or a combination thereof, they tend to hold you hostage. They tend to mistreat you. They tend to disrespect you. It's a lot that goes on. It's toxic. So that's why for me, when you see me, I build wide, I build fast. I put a lot of people in business. I put a lot of people in investments. And you know why? Because if anybody ever said, you know what, I'm leaving, like, okay, you know, I wish you well wherever you're going, you know, but I'm not going to beg you to stay because we built so big and the foundation is laid out so wide and so strong that we may miss you for a minute, but we won't miss you for long, because basically it's going to be replaced. It's like the, you know, I forgot the name of that movie, but it's like a back in Greece where you got Medusa and everything else, Zeus, and you got the three-headed dragon, and you cut one of the heads off and the head grows back, right? That's how I build. It doesn't matter what you do because you're not in control. I'm control. I'm the leader. If you're the leader, you're in control. You're the leader, which means that if there's something toxic going on in your groups or in your portfolios, it's your responsibility to fix it. Find out where it's at and fix it, okay? And stop pushing people. Lead people, okay? Lead people. If you lead people, people come on their own accord, right? Be a builder and not a maintainer. Get out of management mode, okay? That creates toxicity as well. People, we're grown, right? You don't want anybody hovering over you and micromanaging you, right? So don't do it to other people. Remember, that's one of the reasons why you actually are investing now, so you can work your way off of a job, because you were being micromanaged, right? You're being belittled, talked down on, overlooked for promotions, rejected for raises, bonuses, right? And so why would you take the same things that you don't like about your job and introduce them into an environment that's conducive for, you know, great relationships, you know, and amazing human beings? Why would you take that and bring that here or anywhere? Okay, so this is important, guys. Again, your relationships mean a lot, and I wanted to spend a little bit more time on that because, again, there are some people out there I won't do business with. Period. I won't. I avoid them. Matter of fact, there are people who I wish I would have took out my phone a long time ago, and when they call, I hit ignore and I automatically put avoid right by their name, right? So these are just some of the things that I do. I might not erase your name, but I will put avoid in front of it. So it's the first thing I see as avoid, I'm not even considering picking it up, right? And so even when I'm launching something, I'll go on a fast. And this is a key thing for you guys too, especially those of you who are brand new and you're just becoming a part of the ForeSight family. When you're launching something and you're putting yourself in a position where you're about to do something epic, something grand, what you want to do is you want to get away from all distractions. And what I'll do is I'll tell people who are not necessarily toxic, but they're holding me back some way, shape, form, or fashion. They're not pushing me forward. They're not a part of the process. And just the association can be a distraction enough to where I lose and my people lose. They have to suffer. So I'll call those people and say, hey, I got a big project going on. I'm going to be on the ground for about 90 days. You may not hear from me, okay, but I'm okay. And I might even text you to just let you know I'm okay. And it doesn't mean call me. I'm fasting right now. And I'm just going to need 100% of my time, attention to put on this endeavor. And people understand, guys, when you have a conversation with people, you let them know that you're not going to be available, not going to be around, then they understand. And then when they do call and you don't answer and you say, send me a text, they'll understand, right? They'll understand. Like, I don't do music, when I'm fasting, unless it's the only thing I do, books on tapes. And I might listen to, again, some spiritual music, depending on the mood. But it's mostly like some spiritual rap, but outside of that, I'm listening to books on tapes and audios. I'm reading books. I'm not watching TV. Now I might go and do some movies with the families for family night or something like that. But other than that, I'm working out. I'm eating better. I'm fasting for 90 days. I'm giving up some stuff. I'm getting rid of all the toxicity. I'm getting rid of all of the negativity, all the distractions. All I want to do is focus on launching. All I want to do is focus on business, money, developing the team, creating the systems and everything else, right? So a big part of it is getting rid of anybody who can get in the way. And that have to be permanent. It's temporary, okay? All right, number 6, you're addicted to drama. Oh boy. Boy. I mean, when you look at this one, guys, this is right here. Let me see here. Make sure we keep that. Carly, make sure you keep that muted for me. So when you look at being addicted to drama, you love to have arguments over details instead of producing resolutions. And you have people who come to you, have zero desire to get it fixed. All they want to do is fight. All they want to do is argue. All they want to do is one up you. All they want to do is say, I told you so. Right? Toxic, addicted to drama, right? They just want to be heard. They don't want a resolution, right? They don't want to be a part of the solution. They just want everybody to know that they were right, you were wrong. They just want everybody to know that they're not happy, right? And now I get a chance to get my fill of drama. I get a chance to go out here and produce my own reality TV show, in investing or in business or in network marketing, whatever you do, that drama, you got to have it in your life. Right? If you notice, a lot of people out there who have failed relationships, the failed relationship they just had wasn't the first one. Relationships, and guess what? They like to do. They like to talk about it. You have people who try to out toxic and out drama other people. That happened for you? That happened to you? That's what she did? That's what he did? Oh, okay. Listen to this. Let me tell you. And now you try to out drama each other, right? Publicly, privately, it's crazy. Okay. But drama cannot be solved, guys. Challenges can. Okay. Problems can't be solved, challenges can. Drama can't be solved, challenges can. And when you look at drama, it's like they have a saying, they'll sell you so much drama, guys, that you will actually purchase it. If you're not right in the head, if you're not ready for it, you're not expecting it, you don't know how to stop it, you'll start to buy into it. That's when I say you'll start to purchase. You'll purchase it by buying into it. You'll give them an audience and you'll sit down and they'll ruin your day. Either they're talking to you or they're talking about you to you, right? Or talking about somebody to you. Guys, it's a problem. And when you look at drama, what's the word for it? Gossip. Gossip, man. Gossip is a horrible situation, period. And I'm write this down. Type this down, put it on your journal, whatever you want to do. But people who will gossip to you will gossip about you. People who will gossip to you will gossip about you. Okay? That's who they are. That's what they do. They got to have, as long as they got an audience, they're going to gossip. Okay? And there's nothing worse than a gossiping man. Okay? I'm just saying. You have a lot of men out here today who act like women when it comes to gossiping, when it comes to drama. Not cool, not masculine, none leadership about that, right? It's not sexy or attractive to women. I can tell you right now, and they'll keep you out of every clique that's associated with real men. Real men don't do gossip with women. Women are definitely not going to do it with men. Okay, so again, get away from the drama. Okay, avoid the drama and get to the plan and move forward, guys. Number 7, you spend too much time with people that are going nowhere fast. Okay, you spend too much time with people who are not going anywhere. And it's not just in your company, it's outside the company. Okay. We talked about associations, but think about this is more specific. You hang with people that make you feel comfortable failing. Right? You hang with people who have no goals, no dreams, no ambition, no aspirations, right? They're okay. They may be great human beings, but as it pertains to your situation, your goals, your dreams, and you doing what's required to put your family into a place in a position of comfort and profitability and wealth, that doesn't help you, right? And if that's your only association, you can't grow again in that situation. These people who you're associating with, ask yourself, like when you were in network marketing, right, or you were in other investment companies, do the people who you hung with, okay, did they go out there and do income producing things? Did they go out there and meet people, shake hands, give away business cards, get phone numbers? Did you see them doing presentations? Did you see them recruiting? Did you see them, working on their skill set? Did you see them role playing? Did you see them? I mean, think about, again, the people who you spend the most time with. You're hanging around people who are going nowhere fast. Remember, and this is the thing, you are exactly where you made an appointment to be. And the person who you're with, they are exactly where they made an appointment to be. Y'all made the same appointment, okay, 3, 4, 5 months ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, to be right here, nowhere. Because if you're not where you want to be, it's, again, a lot of that has to do with the people who you are comfortable around, because they give you a soft pillow to fail on. Okay. You don't want to hang around people who are ambitious. Okay. Just because this is the thing, it's just like, it's a slap in the face. It's a dose of reality. It's a mirror. And you don't want to look in that mirror. Associating with somebody that makes you feel uncomfortable, if you're not built, in a specific way to where you can take that and say, hey, okay, so what are you doing? Teach me that, show me that, and I'm ready to go out here and commit to this, that, and other based on what you just saw. Again, you'll go in a totally different direction, emotionally and mentally. It'll mess with you, and it'll leave a red mark on your self-esteem, right? It'll leave a red mark on your self-esteem. That's one more thing that now you got to overcome. One more thing. Okay. Number 7, you're addicted to failure and not succeeding because you spend, because you're careless with money. That's number 8, guys. Number 8, because you're careless with money. Okay. When you actually invest, when you own a business, either of those two things, if you invest, you own a business, the money that you make, guys, is not your money. Okay. It's not your money. If you're an entrepreneur, you own a company, that money owns, it belongs to the company, right? Because you still got to go back and reinvest. Think about what happens with McDonald's. If McDonald's had a great day and they said, man, we had a $50,000 day or $100,000 day, right? And we're just gonna go out here and ball out of control. And we're going to Cancun, we're going to the Bahamas after that, we're gonna buy a yacht, we're gonna buy a boat, whatever, we're gonna buy a brand new car. Because we had $100,000 day. Well, tomorrow shows up and all the buns that you sold, you can't buy anymore. All the burgers that you sold, patties, you can't buy anymore. Ketchup packages, you're out, can't buy anymore because you blew all your seed capital. It's not your money. Investments, guys, think about it. Cash flow, right? Money goes out and it comes back in with friends. That's why I call it currency. Currents go out, comes back in, right? And they go out, come back in, go out, come back in. Well, when it comes back in, what you do is you take the excess and you reinvest it somewhere else. Okay? You go out there and make sure that you buy down your debt. You only want good debt. But being careless with money, guys, I'm just saying, most people, you waste a lot of your money, the majority on your money, on stuff that you can't even count, stuff you can't track, little bitty things, ancillary things. You're going out to eat. You have no idea how much that Happy Meal you bought every day, sometimes 2 times a day, how that eats up everything. The gas that you bought, like going to work, and it requires gas in the car. You got obligations, but it's the other things, the clothes, the shopping, the food, the gifting, the loaning, which is a whole entirely different topic. When it comes to money, I'm gonna talk about that one day. But guys, you're not supposed to, at some point in time, you got to stop working for money, and money has to start working for you. Okay? Money is a tool, guys. It's, you're supposed to use money as a tool. You don't supposed to use people, but money is the thing. And money is designed to make your life better, not to make you happy. You being happy, you being, excited about, the things that you get with money is a byproduct of you going out there making it. It's designed to give you security and option, right? And think about it for a second. The average person spends about $1.25 for every dollar that they make with credit, debt, credit cards, financing, automobiles, homes. Again, just you're already in debt. Like it's hard for you to buy down debt because of bad habits. Yeah, you think about how many people or even if yourself, guys, put one in there if you know somebody or you are somebody who, you had an aha moment. So, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and start saving some money, paying off some debt, paying off some credit cards. And then you got your debt paid off, credit cards paid off, credit went up, they gave you more credit cards, and then you put yourself right back in that same situation. And now you figure out, how did I get back here? You went and got another loan for a bigger amount, right? Because you had 0% interest or 5%. There's something really, really cheap. And they basically got you right back into it. Because it's conditioning, guys. When you are doing it, you're doing it because it's in your conscious mind. It's right here, and your frontal lobe is right there where you can see it, touch it. It's right here. But the same thing that controls your breathing, same thing that controls every one of the vital organs in your body, also controls your habits. Your subconscious mind controls your habits, right? And what happens is, when you get money in, you feel guilty about it. And you say, I don't deserve this money. So you find a way to get rid of it. You find a way to waste it, right? You put yourself in a position where you're not happy you're not normal until you get rid of it all, right? Subconsciously. That's why when you have your financial thermostat is at 35,000 and you end up getting $55,000 over here on some investments or what have you, you'll spend all the $50,000 and still have your salary. You'll find a way to blow it. I'm gonna go buy a car cash, or I'm gonna go buy this, or I'm gonna go invest in that, or whatever it is on somebody else's goals, somebody else's dreams. I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do, and it's not gonna be the right thing. And then another thing is you're living above your means, trying to impress people, buying gifts for people. It's, again, these are all, again, bad things. And money, I can't wait till I do the Millionaire Mindset call on money. That's going to be a whole entirely different day. So I won't spend a lot of time on it here. But again, that's part of it, guys. Your capital, you have no resources. Anytime big investments come through, what happens is you're not even in a position where you can afford it, right? Remember, money will always find a great idea. Even if you don't have the money will go around you, and you never even knew about the idea because they knew you didn't have the money. Ooh. All right, so number 9, you're addicted to failure. You're addicted to not winning, right? You're addicted to losing because you have dreams, not goals. You have dreams, not goals. Everybody has dreams, but only successful people have goals and strategies, to get the goals accomplished. Okay. When you look at the dreams are like the fuel, right? And goals are like the navigation system, the roadmap, if you will. Right? You got the fuel, you can burn all fuel and go nowhere fast. You can drive in a straight line and not end up at your destination. Okay. You got to have check marks. You got to have mile markers. You got to have destinations, intermediate destinations, all the way from start to finish, right? You can't reverse engineer anything without having goals, guys. You can't see the end. You can't start with the end in mind if you don't know what the end is. You just can't. Okay. But it would be nice, if you had, it would be nice to have it. This is the thought process. It would be nice to have it, but I don't need it. It's not a must for me. It's not a gotta have. It's like, you got to make it mandatory. You got to put yourself in a position of regret if you don't get it achieved. Right? And that's how you got to approach it. Okay. It's got to be a must. Okay. And there's another thing about this. Average people say this a lot. Give me another one. Now give me a two. If you know somebody if you heard them say this before, I did my best. Give me a two. Show me. Let me see some twos. I did my best. I did my best. I did everything I could. I did my best. Did my best. Did my best. Did my best. There you go. It's lighting up. Twos, 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 twos. Okay. Twos, twos, still going. Either you or somebody you heard has said, I did my best. But what you never see them do, right, is do what's required. What if your best isn't good enough? Right? Your boss doesn't care about you doing your best. Your boss cares about the assignment. Did the assignment get completed? Did the job get completed? Okay, did we get the orders out? Did we do the inventory, right? Or what are the checks and balances? Did we accomplish what we set out to do? That's what you got. That's what you got to work on, and that's what you got to worry about, right? Doing what's required. That's how you get your goals and dreams accomplished. Doing what's required. And like for us, again, I see people every Saturday morning doing what's required, and it's always the few. Okay, like the Marines and military, they say the few, the proud, the Marines. And for us, it's like the few, the proud, the millionaires or millionaires to be. Guys, everybody can come, but everybody won't come. Everybody can come and everybody should come, but everybody won't come because they're not willing to do what's required. I can respect the person, guys, who can say, you know what, yeah, I see you guys hammering it out, and that's just not my cup of tea. You know, I'm not willing to do what you guys are doing, you know, to make 7 figures, make 8 figures, or whatever, or to fire my boss. And I can respect that. Okay. But you can't respect the person who makes excuses instead of making it happen, who will lie to you to your face, right? And tell you everything that they think that you need to hear to let them off the hook. Okay. That's not going to be me. But stop doing your best. People don't care about your best. People care about the end result. Okay. Number 10, moving along, wrap this thing up. You're addicted to failure, or you're mastering failure, mastering not succeeding because you think that successful people either got lucky or got there by luck, right? Or somebody helped them, basically. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is one of the greatest forms of disrespect. You know, it's like spitting in somebody's face or slapping somebody in their face when it comes to business and entrepreneurship or accomplishments, period. Okay. When you actually tell somebody they got lucky, or when you actually tell somebody they got, you know, to the top based on help, or they got, or whatever it is, you know, you don't give that person their flowers. You don't give them that credit, you know, for doing what they actually did, what they were brave enough to do and courageous enough to do and disciplined enough to do. It's disrespectful. And so when people say, well, yeah, but you had, oh yeah, but you had, and geez, I mean, you hear it all the time. And they don't understand how they sound. They don't understand the impact that statement just had on that relationship, because I don't want to be associated with people like that. If you're going to take all my merits away from, you know, me based on your insecurities, we have nothing in common. We're about to disassociate. Guys, don't let people tear you down because they are not, you know, willing to build themselves up. When you compare yourself to somebody else, you compare your failures to somebody else's successes, it's unfair to both of y'all. It's not fair to you for you to compare yourself to somebody because you don't know what they did, what they've been through, right? And it's not fair to them because, again, they went out there and did the work. And you're judging their situation based on your self-esteem or lack thereof. But you can't, you got to stop making excuses, guys, for yourself, and stop making excuses for somebody else's success. People who are successful, they're successful for a reason, right? But also, again, this is still on number 10. You resent the success of others. You resent it. That's why any chance you get to take advantage of the benefits of somebody else's, results, you will, and you'll take it for granted, and you'll abuse it because you don't respect them. This is like somebody who's successful in your family. If you ever notice that, again, give me a $. Give me a $. If you had somebody borrow money from you and that was in your family and never paid you back, or you had somebody borrow money from you, it took them a long time. $, yeah? $, yeah? Yeah. Here's the thing. They'll pay a bank back right away, on time, right? They'll pay back somebody who, is a coworker or a boss right away, on time. But a family member or a close friend, they resent you for being in the position to loan them money. And therefore, everything that they have to do is more important than paying you your money back. Oh, that's Dr. Arlene. She can afford it. I'll pay her back when I want to. That's my cuz. We've been around forever. You know what I'm saying? That's Carly. Carly's a sweetheart. She'll forgive me. That's Earl. Man, look, I see Earl at the picnic. We cool. I get him back one day, but he ain't gonna be pressing me for it, right? But it's one of those things where they resent the fact that you are actually in a position to loan them the money or to do something for them, period, that they couldn't do for themselves. Okay. So again, it's just one of those things where, again, you got to watch the company that you keep, right? A lot of people who say they're for you, not for you. A lot of people who you have in your camp, a lot of people who you have on your cheerleading squad, a lot of people who you have around you, they're around you to manipulate you, to use you, abuse you, get you for everything they can. And like Lil Wayne says, everybody want to eat, but they leave when you say you out of mustard, right? That's just, if you out of cash, you out of money, right? You don't have it no more. Guess what? They're like roaches when the lights come on. They scatter. I know a lot of you rich people don't understand what that look like, but those people are not, again, happy for your success. A lot of those people pray for your downfall. Or if you do have a downfall, they have no problem, right, rubbing it in, or they have no problem celebrating your downfall, or silently and privately, having a little party, right, because you lost. Now you're down on their level where they can now treat you, as a commoner. They can treat like y'all on the same. Now they can have conversations. We can go to the club again. We can do all this other stuff again because you ain't got no money like me, right? So again, you got to think about that for a second, guys. You have successful people, who are successful on their own accord, not because they got lucky. And for those of you who are extremely uneducated when it comes to successful people, when you use that word lucky, okay, that word luck, laboring under correct knowledge, right? That's what they did. It's an acronym, laboring under correct knowledge. That's what luck is. When preparedness and opportunity meet, that's luck. You know what I'm saying? So that's, again, so when somebody's that's just really uneducated and who's got it in for you, they use that, let them know what that really means. Let them know how stupid they sound. As a matter of fact, when they say you got lucky, ask them to say it out loud again. Say, I ain't hear what you said. And say it again, a little bit loud. I can't hear you. I'm lucky. Because, and you see, I just want you to say it, out there where you can hear how stupid you sound. That's what you do. Somebody call you lucky, don't take any prisoners, period. All right? Because they came for you. You got to give it to them. Number 11. Extremely unsuccessful, addicted to not winning, because they rather be right than rich. They rather be right than rich. You got a lot of people out there who, you know what, they'll argue you to the tooth, right? They don't know how to say, you know what, I was wrong, and at the end of the day, it's more, for them, it's more for their ego, right? Than it is for their bank account, but than it is for their progression, than it is for the relationship. They rather be right than rich. They'll rather be right than happy, right? And that's, ego is a big thing, man. And then you have the people who they fight to be understood as opposed to getting an understanding, right? They fight more to be understood instead of attempting to get an understanding. Okay. And so it's always about that person. It's always about me. I need you to understand me, right? They'll overtalk you, cut you off, everything. But I need you to understand. I need you to listen to me. And the leader or the successful person is saying, yeah, you're not trying to get an understanding. You want to be understood, but you're not trying. This is bigger than you, right? And they'll just sit there and let you talk, do your thing, and then they'll bounce on you. May not ever answer your phone call again, may fire you, or may not ever use you for another job again, whatever it is. But at some point in time, you'll learn to communicate properly. You'll learn to listen, take in information, process information, and then make a decision on how to proceed. Is it time to apologize, or is it time to double down with more facts or more reinforcements or whatever it is? But you're not going to always be right, guys. Again, as a matter of fact, 9 times out of 10, if you're dealing with somebody who's far more successful than you, you're probably not going to be right most of the time. If you're having conversation, dialogue between two people, and somebody's already where you want to be, they already had a blueprint. They already had a roadmap. You lost, but you're right. They rich with the roadmap, and you're lost, but you're right. Okay. All right. Everyone else's ideas and thoughts are irrelevant to you, right? Because it's not your idea. You didn't come up with it, right? Think about it for a second. How many of you guys know somebody who, opened up their own business and went ham, right? They just opened up their own company, opened up their own practice, whatever it was they decided to do for themselves, and they decided to go out there and they put everything they had in it, behind it. It was their idea, their baby, their concept, whatever it was. How many of you guys know somebody like that? Just put me in the chat, right? It's just, if you know somebody like that, put me in the chat. You see them go all out. You see them go ham. You see them invest everything. You see them invest money, right, to go and get this thing done, to finish this project. You see them travel outside the world. You see them have an out-of-body experience, right? And whether they win, lose, or not, it doesn't matter. But that's the behavior of somebody with an idea. And they sell out on that idea because it was their idea. They the one came up with it. But you'll have somebody who's worth exponentially more money. They may be worth 100 times more than you, 1,000 times more than you, and they come up with an idea, and the idea is dumb, it's stupid, it won't work. But they're millionaires, billionaires, and you're broke mentally. Because I want you guys to think because you make $500,000 a year, you're not broke. A lot of you guys who make $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year, you can still be broke minded, right? I know people who make $500,000 a year who live like they make $1 million. They live beneath their means, which means that they're broke minded, right? I'm just saying. So again, if it's not your idea, you don't put any credence behind it. You don't put any power behind it. You don't put any, just like you don't give it the kudos, it respects. You don't give it the energy, the participation that you should, right? Because it may be better than any other idea that you've ever come up with, but you're questioning somebody else's idea who's made millions and billions of dollars. But it's irrelevant because of what your idea. You don't ever consider the advice or suggestions from anyone, even proven experts. That's another reason, again, up under 11, that when you talk about rather be right than rich, you don't ever consider the advice and suggestions of anybody other than yourself, even experts. That ego is just huge and out of whack. And then 12, boy, 12 is going to be real simple, real easy, real light, little something like, you never take action regardless of how great the opportunity or timing is, right? You never take action. A lot of you guys have heard of things and say, you know what? You figured out real quick when everybody else, blew up and you didn't. They blew up and you did because they live in a different zip code, right? They live in a different area. They live in a different nation. Like the nation that they lived in was Activation Nation. The nation that you lived in is the biggest nation of any and all nation, and all of us have resided in that nation at one point in time. At some point in time, it's called procrastination. While they're living in Activation Nation, you're in procrastination, and all of a sudden, everything has passed you by, right? You're motivated when you hear it, but you're just not inspired, right? You lack ambition, so you lack movement, right? You lack that internal motor, that internal push, that initiative that you need to go out there and get it because you're not a self-starter, right? Again, you just lack that drive. And again, somebody has to impose their will on you in order for you to win, because you can't do it for yourself, right? You got too many bad habits or you self-sabotage, every chance you get, every opportunity you get. Again, remember that financial thermostat is at $35,000 a year or $50,000 a year, or $75,000 a year. And oh my God, God forbid something come along where you can actually make 3 or 4 times the amount of money that you make. We don't want that to happen. So I'm going to do everything that I can to not take action, to make sure that I don't go and make that money. I'm just okay. I would like to have a life of great, but I'm just not going to take action on this. I'm just not. Okay. But again, I'll repeat this before we close out. You never take action regardless of how great the opportunity or time it is. Like some of you guys just heard me say, we are actually preparing to pre-launch 𝐍𝐓 𝐅𝐎𝐑𝐪. And based on past experiences, again, you're not going to take action. You're not motivated. You're motivated, just not inspired. And for those of you who don't understand what motivated and the difference between motivation and inspiration is, motivation is what happens when you're sitting in an audience and you're losing your mind. You're ready to run through walls and everything is just fire. You're motivated. All the synergy and energy around you, all the people around you, right? It's just infectious and everybody's losing it. That's motivation. And then what happens is when you walk outside the building and you don't have all your friends or all your peers, you don't have all your colleagues that are with you, and all of a sudden you get a no, or you get a bump in the road, and that motivation starts to wear off and wear off and wear off. And at some point in time, you find yourself in a place where, you know what? It was a great idea. I think I'm gonna pass. I'm just gonna quit. You were motivated, right? You weren't inspired. Inspiration is when you walk outside those doors and everything that can go wrong does go wrong, but you are still attached to the emotion that you had inside the room. You still remember how you felt. You can still feel it. You can still feel the energy, the synergy. You still can wrap your mind around the idea of what's going to happen and what it could be for your family. And through all the no's and all the bumps in the roads going forward, you still keep going because you're inspired. You were inspired. You were inspired, not motivated. Okay. You can motivate the masses, but only the few get inspired. Inspiration means that you're going to finish pretty much what you start. You have the ability to finish what you start because you will persist based on, you're doing it for practical reasons, not based on emotional reasons. If you had to feel good on the way to success 100% of the time, we wouldn't have any successful people out there. It'd be very, very far and few in between. If everything had to go right, you would be working for the one person in the world who was inspired, right? That one person would rule the world, or 2 or 3 people would rule the whole entire world, and everybody else would just work for them. Okay, so again, you got to take action, guys, on something. Okay, regards to what you're going through, regardless of what the hang up is, you got to figure out what's in your way, what's blocking, your trigger mechanism, right? the thing that makes you go, the things that makes you initiate, right? You got to figure out what's stopping that, what's blocking that. Is it fear? Is it your past? Whatever it is, figure it out and fix it. Because if you don't fix it, it's going to cost you a fortune. Okay. And I'm not talking about a fortune in finances. I'm talking about a fortune in lifestyle. It'll cost you everything. If I let all my fears, guys, keep me from taking action, you know, I'm going to say right now, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And where I'm at today is not on top of the world. It's on top of my world. I'm the man of my house. My wife and I are free. Our kids have an exceptional lifestyle that we have to fight every day to keep them from feeling entitled and taken and really just, you know, taken for granted, which is totally different from how both of us grew up. Okay. And we don't apologize for it. And you shouldn't either. But you're going to have to figure it out. I had a gold tooth, took it out. Right. I used to wear hand-me-downs. I don't know more. I used to jump in and out of trash cans. Okay. I had to do what I had to do to pick bottles, pick cans and grab bottles and recycle bottles. I did a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do, but I had to do. It's not about me being comfortable because my comfort zone is my broke zone is jumping in a trash dumpster, you know, getting cans. It was extremely uncomfortable, first of all, but throwing those cans out of that dumpster as a kid and putting them in my bag and sitting it on that scale and him saying, hey, here's $17, or here's $22, or here's $25. Okay. I wouldn't have ever, you know, had an opportunity to get those monies if I would have stayed comfortable. If I would have cared what my other fourth grade friends were thinking, my other fifth grade friends, or my other third grade friends were thinking. Right. A lot of them had my problems, not my answers. They were in the same projects. They were in the same ghetto. They were in the same neighborhood. They were on the same food stamps and government cheese, right? So why would I care about what they think? It's like me and my wife when we first got married, we weren't rich. We did decent. We both had jobs when we first got married. But I knew how many zeros she had in her bank account. So why would I be listening to my wife when I can listen to a millionaire, a person who's created millionaires, and he's going to tell us how to go out here and get rich? I'm not listening to my wife. We're going to consult. We're going to talk about some things, but when it comes to money, your word versus this person's word, who's got the credentials, I'm not. No, I know what your bank account looks like. You know what mine looks like, right? So, you know, again, I'm just telling you, you got to take action, guys. Figure out what it is that's getting in your way and fix it. Okay. So with that being said, guys, don't forget about all the things we talked about early on. Dr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓, again, at 12:00 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow morning, talking about FinTop, liquidity, help you guys get those transactions done. Okay. And you're going to ask a Q&A, have a little Q&A to make sure you get it done right. Make sure for those of you who were on the El Green channel tonight and you putting your deposit down for the Brazil trip, go ahead and do that, because remember, you only have 24 hours to do that. Again, get with Mrs. Bean about the Cancun trip right away, again, before we shut that down and we stop taking tickets for that. And as well as I'll be back next week, not just here Monday to do another Millionaire Mastermind, but I'll be back next week with the new opportunity out of Florida. And I can't wait to bring that to you guys so we can go ahead and get rocking and rolling and add something else that's actually lucrative, a little bit more traditional, with a high power kick financially behind it to our portfolio. So love you guys. And as we say all the time, we don't know what we did to deserve you guys, but we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we help you guys and equip you guys to get all your goals and dreams accomplished. So as we say every week, same time, same line, more people. See you guys on Monday. Bye-bye for now.
Recording.